I've been using these HyperX headphones for 6 days and they still have 40% battery life left. Hey guys, welcome to the video. Today we are reviewing some gaming headphones and these are the HyperX Cloud 2 Core Wireless. Yeah, I had to say that a few times before I got it right. So I got sent these to review by AliExpress. I picked these out myself with some review credit they gave me. So these weren't like a pre-approved review or anything. I've seen some of HyperX's products before, and I wanted to check out these headphones because they have some pretty impressive specs. Before we jump into the full review of these, if you would like to pick these up or purchase these at the end of the video and also support my channel, you can use the link down below. So other than a very impressive battery life, let's jump in and see what this product has to offer.
These headphones have a very impressive up to 80 hours battery life. They're utilizing 2.4 GHz wireless connection via a USB dongle. They have 53mm drivers and up to 20-meter range. You can use them while they're charging, and they also have a license for DTS spatial audio. The product came in a pretty nice box. I like the branding and it has all the features listed, so these are great if you want to pick these up for a gift for someone, as there's quite a lot of info on the outside of the box before you even open them. The unboxing experience isn't really anything that high end, but it's not too bad for the price point. In the box we get the headphones, and my first impressions of them was good. I'll be talking about the design of them shortly. We get a user manual which comes in multiple languages and is pretty well laid out and easy to follow. We also get a detachable microphone which looks decent quality. We get a USB-A to USB-C charging cable and our USB-A dongle, which is for our wireless input.
The design of these headphones may not be for everyone, and if you're wondering what I mean by that, they are kind of dull looking in some ways, but I actually really like them because they generally fit the kind of style I go for in most of my tech products. They are matte black, they don't stand out too much, and they have some nice little details on them. I like the contrast of the red logo to the black, and they have, I would say, like a mixture of a kind of old style or older style headphone design that I quite like, and then they just have some slightly more modern looking elements to them as well. So I really like the look of these in general. In terms of how they feel in their quality, they have, I would say, just the right balance, especially in terms of how much they weigh. I think if these felt any lighter, they would feel cheap. And if they were any heavier, then it would make them a little bit more uncomfortable to wear. So these are on the lighter side. When I weighed them, they're about 280 grams. And they are very comfortable to wear for long periods of time. These earmuffs on the side, they kind of offer a really nice balance of cushioning and firmness. Now, when I wear these, they feel like they're pretty suited if you have, I would say, kind of like a medium to a large size head. If you've got quite a small head, I think these might be a tad too big for you. You might want to get a second opinion on that and watch some other reviews. In terms of how they feel for their build quality, I think overall they feel nice. I only have one small criticism, and I'll let you know what that is in a second. But in terms of their overall quality for their price point, I feel like they're roughly what I would expect. The feel of the sliding mechanisms on the side to adjust the length of the headphones, I think, is the part that feels the cheapest to me. They just have a bit of a wobble to them, and the actual sound of the clicking mechanism, again, I feel like I'm nitpicking here a little bit, but for £100 headphones, I just feel like the adjustment mechanism, I feel, could just feel a little bit better. But when you're wearing them, it's not really something you notice. Overall though, the metal on the side here, the metal hinges that are holding the actual earpieces, it's pretty solid. Let's go ahead and connect our microphone. I like how this fits into place. It's got a really nice connection. It doesn't feel like it's gonna wobble or move around or anything like that. It clicks into place pretty nicely, and it's not a bad looking microphone. The adjustment on it feels nice. It doesn't feel too loose. So we've got our USB-C here we can use for charging, and we can charge and use these at the same time, which is really nice. We've got our volume wheel, and it's a really nice feeling volume wheel. It's got quite a nice amount of feedback to it when you turn it. It doesn't feel like one of those really cheap ones that just has like no resistance. It's nice and tactile when you're using it. We've got a mute button for our microphone, and we've got a power button here as well, and then just our little indicator at the top, our power indicator. Design wise, I feel like these are just generally really good. As I said, just some of the really minor criticisms that I mentioned earlier. Other than that, I feel like these are really solid. We're now going to test out the microphone for these headphones so you can see what they sound like. And I want to show you one thing I noticed, and for some reason they seem to come through very quiet on my computer. I do have the microphone volume maxed out. Let me go ahead and demonstrate to you what I mean. So we're now going to do an audio test. I'm recording straight into my video recording software that I'll be editing this video with. Let's play this back and see what it sounds like. So we'll give that a second to whack it into the timeline. So you should see here, if I play this back, it comes through very quiet. So we're now going to do an audio test. I'm recording straight into my video recording software that I'll be editing this video with. Let's play this back and see what it sounds like. So if I boost this, so I'm going to normalize the audio levels and play it back. So we're now going to do an audio test. I'm recording straight into my video recording software that I'll be editing this video with. Let's play this back and see what it sounds like. So as a standard, I feel like the microphone quality is pretty nice. I would say it could be better for sure, but it's definitely usable. You could also clean this up, and if you are going to be using this in something like Discord, Discord has its own stuff that cleans up the audio. And of course, you could do this in post if you're doing something like I am and making an actual video. So the microphone quality is pretty decent. Um, let's see if we can clean this up here. So I'm just going to give you an example of what this might sound like if it goes through some actual software, or in my case, I'm going to use some voice isolation technology that I have in my video editor. So let's whack this on and see what difference it makes. So we're now going to do an audio test. I'm recording straight into my video recording software that I'll be editing this video with. Let's play this back and see what it sounds like. So you can see that removes a lot of the kind of background distortion and unwanted noise. And realistically, like I say, if you're going to be using something like Discord, that's going to do some of that for you as well. So this, with a little bit of tweaking, can sound really nice. So if you are someone who's going to tweak this stuff, or you're going to put this microphone through some kind of software, it does have a lot of potential for sure. Just you can see here me clicking a button makes a huge difference. So this is pretty solid, and I think you can get a lot out of this microphone. I just noticed I keep looking to my left because I'm looking at the preview for my webcam. Should be looking up here, so sorry about that. But yeah, this definitely has a lot of potential if you're going to tweak with it at all. So microphone definitely gets a thumbs up. So this is the landing page for the software, and you'll notice there's this message here, and essentially HyperX are making a new software suite for all of their products, or at least for most of them as far as I can tell. It's currently in beta at the moment, and these headphones I'm reviewing currently aren't supported, so I can't really show you that new software, or at least there wouldn't be much point. And we're just gonna stick with the software
that you can currently use these headphones with at the moment, but it's just worth bearing in mind when you get these, if you do pick them up later down the line. This software that I'm showing you now might not be around, and there might be a newer version available. But for now, at least, let's take a look at this version. So at the top right here, we've got our battery life and how much is left. I like that it has an actual percentage here, not just an icon, which I've seen in some headphone software before, which I feel is a little bit silly. I want to know exactly how much battery life is left in these, and especially when you consider how good the battery life is in these headphones, it's nice to know exactly how much is left in them. We've got some presets up here as well, and there's not really a ton to see in this software. It's nicely laid out, and it's got, the kind of basic options you're going to want. I like that it has some equalizer settings down here, so you could really spec these to a lot of different things. Maybe a specific game, you could tweak it so maybe you get slightly footstep audio. You could even make some different options in here for even specific genres of music. If you want something really bass heavy and punchy, you could tune that down here as well. And then we can just turn our spatial audio on and off, and we've got our volume and microphone audio levels. You can also turn on microphone monitoring as well, so you can hear your voice and maybe tweak that to make sure you sound good for your teammates and people you're playing with. Overall, this software is solid. I haven't had any issues with it. It looks pretty nice compared to ones I've used in the past. And hopefully the new version they're working on will be even better than this one. And yeah, as far as software goes for headphones, this one is on probably the better side of some that I've used before. But let me know your experience with this if you've used it yourself. And let's jump on to the next part of the video.
Most importantly, let's talk about the audio quality of these. So with their spatial audio, you're going to get some really nice directional audio when you're playing in games, especially multiplayer games, and you're trying to pick up those footsteps. And of course, with those equalizer settings in the Enduity software, you can also tweak that a little bit as well, and maybe see if you can bring out those sounds that you really need to pick up a little bit better. The sound quality on these is very good. Now, I don't know if I've mentioned it at this point in the video, depending how I edit this, but these are probably some of the highest end headphones I've used so far in terms of their price. So I don't really have a ton to compare these to. So definitely get a second opinion on these. Look at some more reviews in terms of the sound quality, as there are channels dedicated to audio products like these, and they'll probably be able to give you a much more nuanced opinion. But for me, at least, for their price point, I think if I had these headphones and I paid full price for them myself, I would be pretty happy with the sound quality. And they're very versatile as well. If you're going to be using these to listen to music and podcasts, to me at least, they sound very good in a lot of different situations. I have used some kind of lower end headphones before, and while they can sound good in maybe one or other circumstance, if you're listening to music or games, obviously it's a very different soundscape, but I feel these are quite versatile and they sound quite good in most of the situations I threw them into, and they do also go very loud as well. I actually turned these down quite low when I was playing a lot of different games, as they just seem to have a very punchy, bassy volume to them. So if you're someone who likes your audio to be very loud, I think these are probably going to satisfy you in that department. But yeah, overall, the sound quality of these I feel is very good, so they get a thumbs up there. Let's talk about the battery life of these. As I said in the intro, I've been using these for about 6 days and the battery life has been very impressive. So even when I've had some really heavy gaming sessions, it almost felt like I lost about 10% or roughly around that in a whole day. Now, of course, your mileage is going to vary depending on how many hours you put into a day, but there's no way you're killing these in a single day, as I've probably put at least 5 to 6 hours of usage into these per day. And as I said, I've still got about 40% battery life left, so there's no way you're going to kill these in a whole day's worth of gaming. So I don't think battery life is really going to be an issue for these. And when you consider you can charge them and use them at the same time, you should never really realistically run out of battery unless you just forget to check and use these for days on end. What about the fit and feel of these headphones? So after using them for almost a week, I would say that they feel very comfortable wearing them for extended periods of time because of their lightweight design. I don't really feel like they sit too heavily on your head. And as I already mentioned, because these don't really have a really snug fit, I feel like they are more suited to people that have a medium to a large size head. If you do have quite a small head, I feel like these might be slightly loose on you, but maybe watch some other reviews to get a second opinion. But in terms of their comfort for extended periods of use, I feel like these are about average or slightly above average to headphones I've used before. They fit nicely. The earmuffs are comfortable enough that they're not too firm and not too soft. They feel like they have a nice snug fit on your head, and I don't think most people will have problems wearing these for extended periods of time, especially when you consider that I'm also wearing glasses, where if you're wearing headphones that are too snug or too tight, that does tend to press down on the glasses into the side of your head and it gets quite uncomfortable. But these feel really nice overall. All right, let me share my final thoughts with you on this product. So this is a very well-rounded product and it feels good quality all round when it comes to its software, when it comes to its sound design, when it comes to how it looks and feels. The battery life is also really solid on this product. So battery life, if that's important for you, these really knocked it out of the park for me. I mean, 6 days and 40% battery life left. These are really a solid performer in the battery life department. So I don't think you're really going to go wrong with these. Especially if you get these on sale, HyperX sometimes have sales on, so do have a look at that. But of course, if you do want to pick these up from AliExpress, and that would also help support my channel, you can use my link down below and I will put some discount codes down there for you as well. So you'll get even more money off on these. But if you can be helpful to anyone else looking to purchase these, do you own these yourself? Would you recommend them after using them for a long period of time? Maybe leave your comments down below and you would be very helpful on helping someone decide if they want to pick up this product or not. I really hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing for more videos like this one. And of course, I will see you in the next one.